This is Elizabeth, also known as the Crypto Woman, and we are igniting the blockchain today with Julie and Ezra. We are going to create a poll on the Ignis blockchain. So you're all probably familiar with online polls. Maybe you've used SurveyMonkey or completed a poll that came into your email account. You use Twitter. If you have, you've probably noticed those user-generated polls that come through your feed. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're all familiar with polls. They're fun and sometimes they're very important. But the security, the transparency, and the immutability of blockchain technology actually make it a compelling solution for things like national voting and public opinion surveys. So, and this is because if a survey is taken or voting is done on the decentralized platform, nobody can manipulate the votes or the data or censor those results. So there's a lot of effort going into making national voting a viable option. And some countries are even already using it. But that's beyond the scope of what we're going to do today. Today, with Julie and Ezra, I've been introducing them to the Ignis blockchain on the Ardor platform, and we're going to set up a public opinion poll on the blockchain to be used in the context of their corporation. Corporate polling is actually probably a more readily usable and easier application right now of this type of technology. So yesterday I was giving Julie a tour of the Ardor client, and you know, Julie, we're going to be geeky friends because your eyes just lit up with enthusiasm about the possibilities. So I offered to show you how to quickly set up a poll after you would install the Ardor client wallet and download the blockchain. So anyway, she invited her colleague Ezra to join us, which I was going to get on board with Ezra anyway. So this is good. This is good. Ezra, we're going to be using the voting system on the Ignis blockchain to create our poll. I know you've both already created your first Ardor accounts, and I've sent you some Ignis to work with, right?
Yep.
All right. Some of you watching or listening to this might want to follow along and create your own poll. So you could pause this and visit https://ardorplatform.org/ardor-blockchain-wallet to download the client wallet and follow along. But be sure to download the full version. So let's get started. So this is the dashboard of the client wallet for those of you who aren't familiar with it. If you're listening, I'll try and make it easy to follow along. First of all, we want to find Ignis. You will find a drop-down menu of the child chains that are on the platform right now, and Ignis is the one that's fully featured. It has every feature that every single child chain has the option to use. So potentially you can be creating a poll on some of these others as well, but today we're going to use Ignis. And after you've gone into the Ignis dashboard, you want to scroll down the left sidebar menu to go to voting system. And you will see at the bottom of that list the option to create a poll. Okay. Our poll name is going to be, what will we call this, Julie?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the board temperature, I don't know, something like that.
Level of blockchain expertise, or are you a blockchain expert?
Yes.
Okay, let's call it R. Oh, you can't go back and correct anything you put on the blockchain. So if you do something like that, catch it and correct it.
Oh, no editing capability.
Blockchain expert. And the description is going to just be maybe describe your, or choose your level of expertise about blockchain technology. So honestly, I could almost be done by now, but I'm going to explain this to you a little bit because This is the fascinating part. Right now, you have different ways that you can choose to make this pool available. You can make it by account, which is pretty open just to anybody who has an account on Ignis. That's what we're going to choose. You can also vote by how much Ignis you have in your account. I think you have more than me. This is my demonstration account. But we could say you can only vote if you have 10,000 Ignis. We also can create assets on this blockchain and currencies. And we can say you can only vote if you hold this balance or this asset. So perhaps we could give an asset to the corporate board and or the corporate staff and board and say, you can only vote if you have this asset and have this many. So that is a cool thing to be able to lock that down or expand it. So we're going to do it, and we're going to say vote by account, and there's not going to be a minimum balance. Now, right here, this is the finish height. And you can see right now, this is what the blockchain is right now, 669,986. And the number off to the left is actually 1,440 minutes beyond that, which is 24 hours by default. I think we want to keep this open for the next month so that we can talk to the rest of the people on your team about it. So we're going to add about 43,000 minutes to it, approximately, and I already did that math. So
yeah, I was going to say, well, that's pretty impressive. You know that right off the top of your head.
I had to do that disclaimer. So we're going to go up there, and it's going to tell us here that it's going to take us to May 6th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's the date there too.
Share this with your team, right? Okay, the answers are, and we're going to let, I am a blockchain expert. We'll let at least Art and Ezra do this, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, or I know a little bit. What do you think, Julie?
Well, I think so we're only going to give 3 options.
I think unless you have a better idea, I'm open to your ideas.
Yeah, because I think the next one, I mean, expert, people probably, I don't even know if Art would answer an expert to that, but so,
we're going to have fun with it just to give those extremes.
Right. So I don't know. What do you think the next level down should be, Ezra?
I have a little familiarity.
Yeah.
Like that. Or some familiarity. Or I know the basics.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how about I know nothing at all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can go and go and go and go. We're going to limit it to the number of choices to be 1. And then I hope I didn't copy and paste anything else in here, but I do think I have my passphrase in my clipboard. If you're ever giving a demonstration to somebody, make sure that you don't reveal that when you're sharing the screen.
Oh, right.
Okay, and then it will tell me. Okay, so this is going to cost about 4.5 Ignis, and that is the equivalent of about 10 cents today. So it's not going to cost us very much. And here we are. We'll review it all for spelling. Help me out, guys.
Looks good.
And I am a blockchain expert. I know the basics of blockchain, and I know nothing at all about blockchain. And we are going to create that poll. Okay, up there we can see that the poll has been created, and we need now to wait for it to write to the blockchain, which takes about 1 minute. Sometimes it goes faster than that. And while we're waiting for it to write to the blockchain, let's look at active polls. Right now, because Ignis is pretty new, you can see that there's a lot of tests and demonstrations that people are using, that we have a few pages of those. So I picked one out to show you. And this is one that my friend Anton made when we were trying to figure out within the community, only 5 of us voted, but a name for our bot on our Discord channel. And so 5 of us voted. We all voted unanimously for Wally. And actually, he put 3 up. This is the one where only one person voted, but there is one where 5 of us voted for Wally, and our bot's name is now Wally because of that. Now, there's another thing that I want to show, the really geeky part of you, because you know that this is an unwieldy thing, this wallet, but a really good Java developer or programmer can go in to our API console, and I wanted to show you how easy it would be to interface this with a website. So here we have over 200. Okay, so here's the API console, and you can see that we have about 250 of them sorted into the different features that our blockchain offers. And right now we're going to go into the one down here, voting system. We'll say get poll result. We already know what that is, but we can tell it that we are on the blockchain Ignis. We're going to put the poll ID in. And we don't even have to put in the other things to demonstrate how this is going to work. We'll just hit submit. And you can see right down there, we have this little code that you can just easily pull in and put in your website to show voting results. You can see up here that there are also other API things that you can actually create polls or cast your votes on a website. So to use this in further applications, we can make it easier. Let's go back now to see if our poll has shown up, and it has. Choose your level of expertise about blockchain technology, and we can view it right here. Nobody has voted. I'm going to cast a vote. Well, no, I'm not going to cast a vote.
We're going to skew the results.
Yeah, it will. But I'll be watching this, and we can share this with the rest of your team, and we'll let them cast some votes too. And
so there's no way to send this to someone who doesn't have a wallet, right? So everybody has to sign up and participate through this.
right.
Okay.
Right. And you're welcome to walk them through that. You're welcome to, refer them to me. I would like to talk to everybody.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
That demonstration. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm excited to show you more of the features sometime. Maybe we can create assets and currencies and sell things on the marketplace and start sending encrypted messages back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
But
well, I think hopefully that will be part of our weekly discussions, is showing us, here's an application that might be useful, and here's how to create these things, assets and currencies and whatnot. So
right.
I'm looking forward to it too.
I am too.
So I noticed that the poll showed up on my dashboard, and there's an option to vote, to follow, and to view. I guess my question is, how do we restrict the poll to just the population that we want to receive it? So for example, the staff and the board members of our corporation. How do we do that so that, there aren't just random people voting and skewing our results?
When we set the poll up, did you see how we could vote by account and balance and asset and currency?
Mm-hmm.
We could have set it up that only people with 10,000 Ignis can vote. But to restrict it to your board, we'd probably want to issue an asset and say that only people with this asset can participate. Only this people with a certain threshold and a certain number of this asset can vote. So you can restrict it like that. But because it is the blockchain, the view or the actual poll will be viewable by other people.
Right.
They won't be able necessarily to participate in it. But it's that transparency that gives a lot of security to, to the results. People can observe and watch this. So we did make it open for right now.
Right.
Because we haven't issued our demonstration asset yet.
Right.
But next poll we'll lock it down.
So if I understand correctly, then we could create a poll and then create a currency or a token, and we give each one of our board members one of those, and then they cash that in kind of to be able to participate in the poll, and then no one without that token or currency can participate. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's right. That's basically right. I probably give them more than one currency.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's true. And or for instance, you could create a loyalty system for some
Hmm.
people in the broader audience of your corporation, and that could be a different asset. And people who've accrued a certain number instead of
Hmm.
been given a certain asset, people who've earned a certain asset could then have a voice in the voting. You know, you can vote on all kinds of things. You can vote on trustworthiness. You know,
Right.
what do you
Yeah.
think about this this particular entry into our? I don't want to give too much away, but you know what
Right.
I mean. So
So we've created a poll, and now I want to tell everybody that I've created this poll and I want them to go vote. So do I just need the poll number? What do I need to direct people outside of, right? So I want to send an email or maybe even on social media.
mhm. Well, right now, because you know this is still early stages of development, people would need to have access to this client wallet, correct?
Right,
Um,
right.
and if they had access to that client wallet, you could send them that poll number, that poll ID
Yeah,
number, and then they can identify it in the list. And they
yeah,
can put it into the follow list, because certainly you don't want to have to sort down through all of those
Right.
things um,
exactly.
to find yours. When you get a website interface, you could potentially have the people will still have to have an Ardor account with Ignis in it to vote, but you could potentially have them do all of that interfacing through a website and not
Okay.
necessarily have to look at all of this
Mhm.
every time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Any other questions? No?
No, this is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, very good. So we've had a lot of fun. We will have more fun next week.
Yes.